Okay, I'm gonna take a taste test of the beans, make sure the beans are done here. I just got done deboning the meat from the ribs there. I have 2 ribs in each pot there. And the meat that came from it was super, super soft, man. I boiled it. I made some bone broth yesterday and then boiled the beans for just a few minutes this morning before I left for metal detecting in the bone broth from yesterday, and then spiced it up a little bit when I got back from metal detecting. I just let it sit there, not on the heat when I was metal detecting. I came home and put some spices in it, you know, some cumin, some garlic, some onions, some cayenne pepper, some thyme, some rosemary, stuff like that. And then I fried some chicken and a large chicken thigh, browned that in a pan, and then I put that in here about an hour ago. And about 20 minutes ago, I cut the meat up, deboned the ribs there. I left the bone in here, right, from the bone broth that I boiled yesterday, that I made yesterday. All right, I boiled the bone broth for about 4 hours yesterday, where I simmered it. And then these beans have been simmering for about 3 hours, so the beans are done. And what I'm gonna do is, this is the make or break moment here, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test one of the beans here. They're perfect. So I don't know how much the beans are going to expand, so I have 2 pots. So what I do is I boil them in one, I cook them in one pot, and then I separate them and put some liquids in, you know, basically try to combine them to make the pots even. And this pot, I had to put a lot of water in it because it didn't have a lot of broth in it. I didn't want to overfill this pan right here when I wasn't watching. You know, I didn't want to have it overboil. But I wanted to cook the beans first before I put any acids or any tomato stuff in there, because the beans will not cook in. They'll just be hard. They just won't cook. They don't cook right when you try to cook them in acid, because they're raw beans, right? They're dry beans. And I don't know how much they're going to expand, so I have to kind of anticipate to make 2 pots, but this is just a filler. These beans are just a filler. All the rest of these beans here are dry beans. So I'll do is I'll just pop this can of salsa open here. I'm going to dump this whole can of salsa. I'm going to dump this whole can. I think I might even drain it just a little teeny bit. Just a little teeny bit. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen. So what I'll do is I'll just dump half of this salsa in here and half of the salsa in here. All right. It'll just make it easier when I mix, when I'm combining these together, it'll make it easier, because I don't have a big pot, right? I don't have a big pot. So I'm gonna take this can of beans right here, because these beans are already done and these beans are already cooked. I don't want to put these beans in here like an hour or 2 ago, because these beans would just fall apart and make mush. So I don't really want to cook or boil these beans. It's pretty much done here, right? I might have to reduce it down a little bit, because the liquid there, I don't know, we'll see. I'm just always changing it, right? You got to adapt. It smells amazing, I'm telling you. I did chop up some 4 jalapenos and put it in here too, seeds and all. So I want to get as much of this brine off here as much as possible, because I don't want to have to cook these beans, right? I just want to do it quick. Drain the brine off there. So So what I'll do is I'll just take this whole can of beans and just put it in this pot right here, right? Because I really don't have a lot of room in that pot anymore. So, and then I'll take this can of, this already has like some salt and stuff. I did not put any salt in it because the meat, the chicken had a little bit of salt. This bouillon cube has a lot of salt. Or I have 3 bouillon cubes, and I already put 1 bouillon cube in each one of these. They're just the chicken bouillon cubes without the tomato in there. I wanted to put the tomato in after all the beans were cooked. So I'll kind of feel it out here a little bit. Put half of those in there, that one, and the rest in here. All right. Just less mixing I have to do if I kind of combine them right now. So what I'll do is I'll just stir that up. Stir it up here. And I'll have to season it again. I put a lot of basil and a lot of seasoning in here already. You have to season chili as you go, like every half an hour. You just kind of have to feel it out. Slow. It's a slow process making chili like this, right? Chicken and beef in every freaking bite right there. Of course, I'm going to take these bones out of here, but I want them to really flavor these, this chili a lot. So, but I'll have to mix these up because these beans are not going to be as flavorful. The ones from the can are not going to be nearly as flavorful as the beans that have stewed in this bone broth here for hours. Right. Just want to mix it up here and then give it a taste test, and then I will put the heavy seasoning in it. All right. I don't want to stir it up too much because I don't want the beans to break apart, right? Because they're kind of fragile right now. Oh shoot. I've got some more, a big chunk of beef right there. I forgot. Darn it. Well, just check this here. I remembered I forgot a piece of beef in there. I took some of the beef off this one, and so yeah, I'm gonna get my knife out and everything now. I just use this knife on that other piece of the beef that I just cut up. So I forgot some beef here, so we'll have to go like this, right there. It's from the ribs. Look at how soft it is, right? It comes right apart. It's super soft. Super soft. It's been slow cooking for hours, so. A lot of hours, actually, a lot of hours. This beef has been cooking for more hours than the beans, so. I cooked this beef here for about 4 hours yesterday, boiled it to make the bone broth. It smells amazing, too. Super soft rib meat. Try to cut them up small. Right there. Put half in there and then half in here. Right there. Okay. So, mix it up here, and then I'm going to taste test it. I'm going to check for small bones in here. I had a little sliver of a bone that was in there that didn't fall off until about 2 hours ago. But I threw that small sliver of bone away. I'm surprised it didn't come out when I was boiling it yesterday, when I was making the bone broth. Okay, there's no bones in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a taste test of each pan and then season it with the bouillon cubes. And I put some cumin and stuff in there too, some other spices in that slurry mix there. Frickin' A-okay. Not too salty. So I'm definitely not going to use all of this. See, it's like a paste. It's like a slurry, all right? This is three bouillon cubes and some spices there. So I'll just put 2. I'll put 3 in this one here. Probably won't use all this paste here. I will not have to reduce it down. It looks just fine the way it is right now. There's a big chunk of beef right there. Look at that. This chili is freaking epic, man. Okay, and I'll stir this one in too. I'll just leave the bones in there. I'm not going to freeze the bones though. I'm going to freeze one of these pots here. So it didn't yield as much as I thought it was going to yield. I was hoping to really have a full pot to freeze here in separate containers, you know, for later, so I can eat them later. I could use another can of pinto beans in there, but I'll taste test it first. This one probably needs a little more spices here. Yeah, that one needs just a little bit more here. Right there. Not too much. I could put another can of beans in that one right there, another large can of beans. You know, I think that's what I'll do. Because they're already cooked, right? The canned beans are already cooked, and I don't want to overcook the beans because they'll start falling apart and just turn to mush. All right. Oh, beautiful. Take another little taste tester. Freaking perfect. It's not too salty because I'm going to put cheese on the chili here too, so that'll just add a little bit more salt. So it's a little bit under flavored right now with salt. I really don't eat a lot of salt anyway. I don't salt my foods. You can get salt in your foods many different ways, and you know, this salt right here, or this salt right here. You can see how long it's been up there. I just really don't use a lot of salt. So I'm gonna put one more can of beans in there. I'm just gonna try that. I'm just gonna try that. Going to try it. I'm gonna have to mix them together. If I do this, I'm gonna have to mix them together. Take some of that. Actually, what I'll do is right now is I'll just transfer some over here and just put half the beans in there and half the beans in there, right? Right there. A little bit too much there. Okay. So, I'll open this can up here and drain them. This is going to be excellent chili. The best chili ever. It took me many hours to cook these beans here. A lot of prep work. A lot of prep work. Boiling the broth, cooking the beans, cutting the stuff up, cutting the chicken up, cutting the meat up, the beef, sorting the beans, right? I had to sort all the beans because I don't want to be chewing on any stones or twigs or whatnot. Mostly twigs. I really don't want to chew on it. I don't want to chew on a stone. That's the main thing. I sort the beans out so I don't break my tooth, right? Try to get all the broth, this bone, or this brine out. There we go. Okay, now I'll just put some in each pan there. Just put some in each pan. Half in each pan. there, and right there. Just like so. Okay. I'll just stir it up here. Oh, this can be epic. And I'll just let one of these cool down and just let it cool down for a few hours and then put it in some freezer bins, freezer tubs, and freeze them. Freeze the chili. Yeah, epic, man. Chicken and beef in every bite. Okay, do a taste test here. I probably need to put just a little bit more, seasoning in there. Yep. Dump half it right there, and half it right there. Some thick stuff there. My own secret recipe. No, it's just bouillon cubes, right? Well, there we go. So I'm gonna be making a little trip to Texas here in the next couple weeks. So I'll be making videos in Texas when I'm down there, right? Oh, there's a big chunks of meat in there. Look at that. Chicken and beef in every bite, man. I don't know about beef in every bite, but there's definitely a chunk of meat in every bite, right? Every spoonful. Yeah, bring it. Soup is on. Best award-winning chili right there. It takes several hours to cook. Well, thank you for watching.